Hey, Heart Seekers, welcome to the Heart's Hello Show, a space where truth meets tenderness and your journey back to yourself begins. I am your host, Kiana Talena, and around here, we don't do surface. We get real, we go deep, and we speak to the parts of you that you thought no one saw. Whether you're in a season of rediscovery, rebuilding, or just trying to breathe again, you're safe here. Let's unpack, unlearn, and unlock who you were always meant to be.
Yep, I know you felt it. Don't act like you didn't. You felt the nudge. You felt the shift. You felt that quiet discomfort that started whispering, "There's more." You knew something was coming, and instead of moving, you tried to tighten your grip on what was. Because the next level sounds good until you realize it's going to require a different version of you. And that's where it starts getting uncomfortable. See, we celebrate graduation, but we rarely talk about the grief of leaving what was mastered. Kindergarten felt big until it was time for elementary. Elementary felt safe until middle school demanded more. Middle school stretched you until high school said, "Grow up." High school prepared you until college said, "Now you're responsible." See, every level required something different: new thinking, new discipline, new identity. And here's the part nobody tells you. You don't get to stay in a grade you've already passed just because you're good at it. So the real question is, are you staying because it's your season or because you're afraid of what the next level will expose? Stay with me. Because today we're talking about comfort, graduation, and why this podcast is stepping into its next level. Heart still intact, but structure added. And if you're listening closely, you might realize it's time for you to graduate too. See, there's a difference between peace and comfort. Peace aligns you, comfort protects you. And sometimes the very space that healed you becomes the space that limits you. I will say that again. Sometimes the very space that healed you becomes the space that limits you. Not because it's wrong, but because you've grown past it. You can sit in a season longer than you simply should because you finally understand it. You no longer confused. People expect you there. It's predictable. And predictable feels good after chaos. But predictable does not always mean purposeful. See, there comes a point where staying is no longer growth. It's hesitation disguised as gratitude. And you have to ask yourself, am I here because this is still stretching me? Or am I here because I've mastered it and I'm afraid to disrupt what feels stable? I'll wait for you to answer that. Because growth will always interrupt comfort. Always. So this podcast, like I said, is graduating. The Heart's Hello has always been about the heart. Authenticity, vulnerability, courage, truth. And that's not going anywhere. But here's what I've also known for a while. I'm not just heart. See, I'm systems, I'm governance, I'm discipline, I'm structure. I live in human behavior and compliance. And for a long time, I kept those worlds separate as if emotion and execution couldn't sit at the same table, but they can. And they must, because what good is healing if it never translates into behavior? See, what good is growth if it never aligns with responsibility? The next level of this podcast is integration. See, we're still talking about the human element, but now we're talking about human compliance. We're talking about alignment between what you say you value and how you actually operate. See, in your relationships and leadership and business and systems and yourself, this isn't a rebrand. It's a graduation. So I'm excited. I'm excited because we get to go to the next level. And just like we already alluded to, that you leave one level in schooling, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, college, there is always another level, and each level requires a different growth in you. But here's the mistake that most people make when they level up. They think that they've arrived. No, you've qualified. And qualification brings responsibility. When you move from kindergarten to elementary, the expectation shifts. From middle school to high school, more responsibility. From high school to college, accountability, y'all. Every level increases the demand. And here's what people don't want to admit, that every level exposes what you don't know. You don't stop learning because you've leveled up. You learn more. You don't stop growing because you got promoted. You grow faster. And if you stop learning at the level you've just reached, you will become outdated in the very space that you prayed to enter. There is always another level. And that's not pressure, that's purpose. So if I'm being honest, hey, you all know that I don't share anything that I have not already been through. I don't share anything that I haven't walked through, anything that I have experienced, any conversations that I've had. I've lived this podcast. I've lived in this space. And when I say that I can master it, oh, I have mastered it. And yes, it was hard for me to say, you know what, it's time to level up. Because I'm like, but I'm comfortable here. I know this space here. I know how to navigate and journey here. So yes, if I'm being honest, I felt the nudge. I felt that it was time. But even when you know it's time, you still have to release what you've been good at. You still have to let go of the version of yourself that people are comfortable with. And it's hard because comfort feels like safety. But growth requires your courage. See, this shift isn't abandoning the heart, it's strengthening it. It's proving that softness and systems can coexist, that vulnerability and governance can sit in the same space, that healing without structure collapses and structure without heart becomes rigid. This next level, it's both. So let me ask you, where have you outgrown your current level, but you're staying because it's familiar? What part of you is ready to graduate, but you keep shrinking it? Are you mistaking comfort for calling? If you stepped into your next level today, what new skills would you be required to develop? And are you willing to become the version of yourself that requires that next level? So this is not goodbye to what was. This is expansion of what is. The heart stays. The humanity stays. But now we're adding alignment. We're adding responsibility. We're adding growth and structure. Because you don't stay in a grade that you've already passed. You graduate, and once you do, don't get comfortable there either. Because from that level, there's always another. And growth is not optional for the cold. It's time. It's time. It's time for you to graduate.
If this episode spoke to your heart, I hope you'll sit with it, share it, and let it shift something in you. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to be willing to be real. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep saying hello to your heart. And until next time, I'm Kiana Talena, and this is the Heart's Hello Show, where growth sounds like grace and healing feels like home.